My name is Wendy. I want to tell you a story about a time in my life. It was a difficult time for me. When the story started, I was 26 years old. My husband was Hugh. We were married for 3 years. Our life together felt very happy. It felt simple and good. We had a small house. It was our home. We liked our house very much. We had simple dreams for the future. Maybe we wanted to have a baby one day. We also wanted to make our garden very nice. We thought our life was good and safe. I loved Hugh very much. He was a good man. He was kind to me. He was also very funny. He often made me laugh. He told me nice things. He always said, "Wendy, you are my everything." When he said this, I felt very happy and loved. I believed him completely. We spent time together. We cooked together. We watched films. We talked about our day. Every day felt peaceful and full of love. We did not have many problems. Life was easy for us. We were a team. We planned our future together. Everything felt right. Then something new happened. A new person came to live near us. One day, a big truck came to the house next door to ours. A new neighbor was moving in. It was a woman. She was very pretty. She had long, dark hair. She had a bright smile. Her name was Harmony. I went outside to say hello to her. I wanted to be friendly. I said, "Welcome to the neighborhood." She smiled at me. She said, "Thank you." She told me her name was Harmony. She said it was nice to meet me. Then Hugh came outside the house too. He came to see who was there. Harmony looked at Hugh. Her bright smile got even bigger when she saw him. She looked at him for a moment. Then she spoke. She said to me, "And this must be your handsome husband." She said the word handsome and looked at Hugh again. When she said this, I felt a little strange. Her eyes stayed on Hugh for a moment. It was a short moment, but I saw it. I smiled, but inside I felt a tiny feeling. It was not a happy feeling. It was an uneasy feeling. It was very small at first. I did not understand this feeling. It was new to me, but it was there. This was the start of my story, the story about a difficult time. 2. Our neighbor, Harmony. Harmony started coming to our house very often. It was soon after she moved next door. It felt like almost every day. Sometimes in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon. She would come over for small things at first. "Can I borrow some sugar?" she would ask. Or maybe, "Do you have an egg?" These were things she could buy easily from the shop nearby. But she came to our door. She always had a big smile. Then she started asking for Hugh's help more and more. "Hugh, I have a heavy box. Can you help me move it?" Or, "Hugh, my kitchen tap is leaking water. Can you please come and look?" Hugh is a kind person. He likes to help people. So he always said yes. "Of course, Harmony," he would say. "He told me, Wendy, she is new here. We should be friendly neighbors. It's good to help." I thought he was right. We should be good neighbors. It is important to be nice to people who live near you. But Harmony's visits became longer. She did not just take the sugar and leave quickly. She would stay and talk. She talked a lot to Hugh. She laughed loudly at his jokes. Sometimes she seemed to forget I was even there. She looked at Hugh a lot when she talked. She smiled at him a lot. Her eyes seemed to follow him around the room. This made me feel strange inside. It made me feel very uncomfortable. My first feeling of unease grew a little bigger each time she visited. I did not like how much she focused on Hugh. I did not like how long she stayed at our house. I did not like how she always asked for Hugh's help, not mine, even if I was standing right there. I tried to talk to Hugh about it. "Hugh," I said one evening when Harmony had just left. "Harmony visits very often, doesn't she? And she always asks for you to help her. It feels a bit strange." Hugh just smiled and put his arm around me. "Don't be silly, Wendy," he said. "She just needs help. She is our neighbor. It's fine. You worry too much." He did not think it was a problem at all. He did not seem to notice anything different. He did not understand how I felt inside. But I knew something felt wrong. It was a quiet feeling inside me, like a small stone in my shoe. I wanted to trust Hugh completely. I wanted to believe Harmony was just a friendly neighbor who needed help. But her constant visits, her focus on Hugh, and Hugh's easy acceptance of it all made me feel a growing worry. It was like a small, dark cloud slowly moving into my happy sky. I tried to push the feeling away. I told myself I was wrong to feel this way. I told myself she was just being friendly and I was imagining things. But the feeling stayed. It was hard to ignore her constant presence. Her visits became a regular part of our daily life, and my discomfort grew with each one. She was always there, or it felt like it. Always asking for Hugh, always talking to Hugh, always laughing with Hugh. It was not just a neighbor asking for help sometimes. It felt like something more was happening, and I did not like that feeling at all. It made my heart feel a little heavy. 3. Things change. After some time, I started to see small changes. Hugh was not the same as before. It happened slowly, day by day. One change was about his work. He started coming home later in the evening. He would say he had a lot of work to finish. Before, he usually came home on time. Now, the clock on the wall would show a later number when he opened the door. His phone also became different. Before, Hugh often left his phone on the table or on a chair. He didn't worry about it, but now he always kept it with him. It was in his hand or in his pocket. If he put it down, the screen was always facing down. It was like he didn't want me to see anything on it. This was a new thing, and it made me feel a little strange inside. Sometimes Harmony would still visit, or we would see her outside when Hugh was there. In these moments, I started to see something else. I saw Hugh look at Harmony, and I saw Harmony look at Hugh. It was just for a second, a very short time. But the way they looked was not just friendly. It was a special look, a look that felt like a secret. It was a look I knew well. It was a look Hugh used to give only to me. The first time I saw this look, my heart felt a little cold. I tried not to think about it. I told myself I was wrong. They were just neighbors. But I saw these looks more times. Each time, the small bad feeling I had before started to grow. My small unease changed into something bigger. It became a worry. I started to think about why Hugh was home late. I started to think about his phone. I started to think about those looks between him and Harmony. Was there a reason for all these changes? Was there something happening that I did not know about? These thoughts were like small stones in my shoe. They were always there, making me uncomfortable. My mind started to ask questions I did not want to answer. My happy, simple life felt like it was getting a little bit cloudy. The worry was growing stronger, like a quiet noise that gets louder and louder. A bad surprise. The changes in Hugh continued. More small things felt wrong, adding to my worry. One evening he came home and I could smell a sweet perfume. It was not my perfume at all. He said it was from work, that someone had a birthday, but I did not believe his words. His eyes did not look at mine when he spoke. Another time, I found a small piece of paper in his jeans pocket when I was doing the washing. It was a ticket for a film, a romantic film I had wanted to see with him. He had told me he was too busy working on that specific night. These little things, like small stones, started to build a wall of doubt in my mind. Then I found something else that felt much bigger. I was cleaning his office, a room I did not often go into. In a drawer, pushed far to the back, I found a small, empty box. It was a nice box from a shop that sells beautiful things like jewelry or watches. I remembered it was Harmony's birthday recently. Hugh had told me he bought her a simple gardening book as a gift. Why was this empty box from a fancy shop hidden here? My hands started to shake as I held the box. This felt like a very bad sign, a secret he did not want me to find. My heart felt very heavy and cold. All the small worries I had felt for weeks came together in this moment. I felt sure now that Hugh was not telling me the truth about many things. My doubts were too strong and too many to ignore any longer. I decided in that moment that I had to find out what was really happening. I needed to know the truth, even if it was difficult. I made a plan the next day. I told Hugh I would visit my mother for the whole day, saying I would be back in the evening. But I did not go to my mother's house. I drove away from our street, then I came back a little later in the afternoon. I parked my car some streets away, where Hugh would not see it easily. Then I walked quietly towards our street. As I got closer to our house, I saw Hugh's car. It was parked a little way down the road from our house, near Harmony's house. It was not in her driveway, but a little down the street, almost trying to be hidden. My heart started to beat very, very fast inside my chest. I walked slowly and quietly towards Harmony's house. The front window curtains were open just a little bit. I stopped outside and looked inside the window. And then I saw them, Hugh and Harmony. They were sitting together on her sofa in the living room. They were very close to each other. Then I saw them kiss. It was not a quick, friendly kiss like neighbors might give. It was a long, deep, passionate kiss. They held each other closely. It felt like the whole world stopped moving around me. I could not breathe. The air seemed to leave my body. My legs felt weak, like they would not hold me up. I saw the truth right there in front of my eyes. The bad surprise I had feared was real. My husband, Hugh, was having a relationship with our neighbor, Harmony. 5. The truth hurts. I was home. My heart was beating fast and loud in my chest. I heard the door open and close. It was Hugh. He came in whistling a little tune like it was a completely normal evening. "How was your day, love?" he asked me, his voice easy and calm. I just stood there looking at him. I couldn't pretend anymore. My voice was quiet, but I could feel it shaking. "I saw you, Hugh," I said. His happy face changed in a second. He looked surprised, then his face became very pale. "Saw me. What do you mean, Wendy?" he asked quickly. He tried to sound normal, but his eyes looked worried. "I saw you with Harmony," I said again. "In her house, you were kissing her." He didn't speak for a moment. He looked down at the floor, then he tried to deny it. "Wendy, you must be mistaken," he said softly. "I was just helping her with something small. A shelf needed fixing." I felt the anger starting deep inside me. "A shelf," I repeated. "While you were kissing her like that." I could not keep my voice quiet anymore. He looked up at me, his eyes full of a sadness that looked fake to me now. He knew he couldn't lie anymore. He finally spoke the truth. "All right, Wendy," he said, his voice low. "Yes, it happened. I am so sorry. It didn't mean anything." Hearing the words was like a physical blow. My world felt like it was breaking into a million sharp pieces. The man I had loved for years, the man I married, stood there telling me he had betrayed me. With Harmony, our neighbor. "It didn't mean anything," I asked, my voice shaking hard with anger and pain. "You kissed her. You lied to me, Hugh. For how long has this been happening?" He told me it had been going on for a few months. "It started small, friendly things," he said, "and then it became more." Every word he spoke made the pain worse. Our happy life, our dreams, our promises, they all felt like a lie now. The trust I had in him was completely gone. I looked at him, but he was not the Hugh I knew. He was a stranger who had hurt me in the worst way. The sadness was a heavy weight in my chest, pulling me down. The anger was hot, burning. How could he? How could they? I cried for days. Hugh kept saying he was sorry, that he loved me, that it was a mistake. But his words could not fix my broken heart. The truth hurt more than anything I had ever felt. It left me feeling lost and empty. 6. A new start for me. After I saw Hugh and Harmony kissing, the pain inside me was very, very bad. It was not just sadness. It was a deep hurt that went through my whole body. My heart felt like it was broken into 1,000 small pieces. I cried for many days and nights. Hugh kept saying he was sorry. He said he loved me and the kiss meant nothing. He said it was a big mistake, but I could not believe him. When I looked at him, I did not see my kind husband anymore. I saw a person who had lied to me for a long time. The trust was gone. It was impossible to fix. I knew in my heart that I could not stay married to him. It was the hardest decision of my life. 1 week later, with a shaking voice, I told Hugh, "I want a divorce." The words were very difficult to say, but I knew it was the only way. The process of getting a divorce was not easy. It was a long and painful time. Hugh did not want the divorce at first. He begged me to stay, but my mind was made up. My marriage was finished. Hugh moved out of our house. He packed his things and found a new place to live, but it was not far away. It was next door. Soon after Hugh left our house, I saw his car parked at Harmony's house. It was right there in her driveway, not hidden like before. They were together now, openly. Seeing them like this, right next door, was incredibly difficult for me. They were starting their new life together, and my old life was broken. It felt like they were happy very quickly, while I was still in so much pain. Seeing them laughing in Harmony's garden, or seeing Hugh's car there every morning, made me feel a strong mix of sadness and anger. It was a rage I had never felt before. They had taken my happy marriage and my trust, and now they were together, right next door, as if nothing bad had happened. It felt completely unfair. My heart was still broken, and it seemed like they were building their happiness on the ruins of my life. The people in the neighborhood knew everything. They talked about what happened. I felt like everyone was watching me or whispering when I was near. It made me feel very uncomfortable and embarrassed. It was humiliating. My home and my street did not feel like a safe or happy place anymore. Every time I looked next door, I saw them, and it was a constant reminder of the betrayal and the pain. This time was very dark and difficult, but I knew I had to find a way through it to start my life again. 7. My secret plan. Many months went by. The divorce was finished. Hugh and Harmony were living together next door. I saw them often. They looked very happy. They laughed in their garden. They walked together. Sometimes they held hands. It was hard for me to see this. I was still living in my house. It was the house Hugh and I shared. Every day I saw the place where my old life was. I saw the neighbor who helped end that life. My heart felt heavy. The sadness was still there, but something else was growing too. It was anger. I was very angry. They hurt me badly. They lied to me. They broke my marriage. And now they looked happy, like nothing bad happened. It did not feel right. It felt very unfair. I thought about this every day. I wanted them to understand. I wanted them to feel some of the pain I felt. They needed to know what they did. I waited. I did not know what to do at first. Then I heard about the neighborhood block party. This party happened every year. Everyone in the neighborhood came. It was a big event. People talked and laughed and ate food together. Harmony was helping to plan the party this year. She wanted everything to be perfect. She wanted everyone to think she was perfect. The block party was coming soon. I started to think. This was my chance. This was the right time to do something. I had an idea. It was a secret idea. I did not tell anyone. I thought about it carefully. I planned it in my mind. My plan was simple, but I thought it would work. I would use the party to tell everyone the truth. I would tell people how my marriage ended. I would tell them about Hugh and Harmony. I would make them see what happened. I knew it would be difficult. It would be scary. But I felt strong. I wanted to show them. I wanted the neighborhood to know. My secret plan was ready. I just had to wait for the day of the party. 8. The party lesson. The day of the neighborhood block party arrived. It was a sunny day, and many people were there. There was food, music, and children playing. I saw Hugh and Harmony together. They were smiling and talking to neighbors, acting like a happy couple. Seeing them made my heart hurt again, and the anger came back. I watched Harmony prepare to speak to the group. She was going to talk about the neighborhood. I knew this was my chance. My hands were shaking a little, but I felt a strange calm inside. I walked towards the area where Harmony was standing with Hugh. Everyone was quiet, waiting for Harmony to start. I took a deep breath. My voice was clear. "Excuse me," I said, loud enough for many people to hear. "Before we talk about the neighborhood, I want to share something." People turned to look at me. Hugh and Harmony looked surprised, then worried. "My name is Wendy," I continued. "And this is Hugh," I pointed to him. "Until a few months ago, Hugh was my husband, and this is Harmony, our neighbor." I paused for a moment. The silence felt very loud. "Harmony and Hugh had an affair," I said simply. "While Hugh was married to me, he was seeing Harmony. This is why my marriage ended." A wave of whispers went through the crowd. People looked from me to Hugh and Harmony. Their faces were bright red. They looked shocked and very ashamed. Harmony didn't say anything. Hugh looked down at his feet. Their happy faces were gone. I had some photos and papers with me, simple things showing my life with Hugh before. I showed them to people nearby. "They want everyone to think they are a perfect couple," I said. "But they started their relationship by hurting me, by ending my marriage." The party atmosphere changed. People were uncomfortable. Hugh quickly took Harmony's arm and they walked away, back to their house. They did not speak to anyone else at the party. Standing there, after speaking my truth, I felt a moment of strength. I had faced them and told everyone what they did, but the deep sadness was still inside me. Exposing them did not magically fix my broken heart. It was a hard lesson about trust, about how people can hurt you. But it also showed me that I could be strong even when I was in pain. Living next door to them after everything was impossible. I knew I needed a real change. I decided then that I would sell the house. I needed to leave this place, leave the memories, and leave them behind completely. My new life could not start here, next to the people who had caused me so much pain. Selling the house was the next step in truly moving on.